Okay, now that I'm all settled, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for being here to focus on the continuing attacks by the Trump regime. And I call it a regime because of its authoritarianism, but they're continuing attacks on education, and this time minority-serving institutions, a subject that all of our panel members are very familiar with. So as I mentioned, this regime has been hell-bent on eliminating support for programs that promote diversity, equity, or inclusion in any form. In our schools, in the administration, I think you are well aware of their attacks on what we would refer to as DEI, but basically it's diversity. So following the plan and Project 2025, Trump has been targeting these programs under the false pretense of addressing, quote, discrimination. From threatening investigations to withholding funds, he has been attacking these programs and is now working to illegally eliminate the programs entirely, not to mention they would like to eliminate the entire Federal Department of Education, starting with firing half of the staff, being challenged legally, of course. During this forum, we'll hear from students, faculty, administrators, and others about the threats this regime poses to students. There are about 5 million students who are helped by minority-serving institutions, 5 million. So that we can empower our communities to fight back. Within days of taking office, Trump issued executive orders to limit the ability of states, school districts, colleges, and universities, and others to ensure equal access to education. In July, he decided not to defend from legal challenges programs that promote equal access to education. Normally, when programs that are supported by Congress and enacted into law, if there are legal challenges, the administration, through the Attorney General's office, defends these programs, but not in this instance. So we're sort of left to our own devices, and that is why it is really important for the American public to know through forums like this, and this is the 5th education forum that I am conducting, that through forums like this, they are aware of the challenges to our public schools. And then in September, he announced that he would reprogram $350 million in funding for these programs, $350 million. These are programs that support over 5 million students in over 800 institutions across the country. And I just want to note that when I say across the country, blue states and red states have, hold on, I need a list. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that there are MSIs throughout the country. For example, Texas has 174 institutions, minority granting institutions, that service 2.2 million students. Florida has 55 MSIs that serve 878,000 students. So I just want everyone to understand, as I know that our panelists do, that these minority-serving institutions are across the country. That is why there are 5 million students who would be impacted by this regime's attacks on MSIs. So he wants to reprogram all the funding that Congress appropriated for these institutions. But let's be clear, Congress created these programs and funded them for years because Congress recognizes the importance of these programs. And only Congress can eliminate these programs, and Congress has decided not to do so. In fact, we provided additional funding for these programs in the fiscal year 26 spending bill, reiterating our support for them. But of course, the Trump regime doesn't care about Congress's priorities. He and Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education, are doing everything they can to cut programs at the Department of Education without any regard, frankly, to the negative impacts of these efforts on their part. And so all students, regardless of their background, deserve access to a quality education. And without this funding, students from diverse backgrounds will lose critical support that they rely on. And frankly, I know whereof we speak because I attended a minority granting institution at the University of Hawaii. I participated in the work-study program to help pay for my education. I am an immigrant, so on very many levels, I understand the importance of these programs to students like me that have the kind of background that I have, which is an immigrant with not very many financial resources. So that's why it's important for us to have this forum once again, and I certainly look forward to hearing from all of our witnesses.